Spurs drafted this guy, and he's actually pretty great. And he had a little press conference here that we didn't get a chance to look at when it happened. So I wanted to react to it now. Carter Bryant, what do you have to say for yourself, my boy? I have no idea what this is about. I just had it saved. Let's listen. Hold on, I probably need it. I don't want to blow out your eardrums. Let's turn it down a little bit.
Try to treat every game as I did the last. Game is going according to one another. If you start getting up and down, it's going to be hard for you to wake up and play games when you're playing against teams that aren't that good. You know what I mean? So I just try to keep a level head, try to keep it even.
Wait, I missed that part. What?
And play games when you're playing. Game is going according to one another. If you start getting up and down, it's going to be hard for you to wake up and play games when you're playing against teams that aren't that good. You know what I mean? So I just try to keep a level head, try to keep an even mentality towards everything. But it comes to hell of a player. You want to compete against the best in the world. So him being the number one draft pick is definitely just an opportunity to measure up and compete.
Okay, something you said that I really like. So
he's process driven. Process driven rather than result based, because result driven. A lot of the times, you get stops. A lot of guys get hype. They get really high in the game, and then it gets quiet when guys start getting buckets, and that's what's going to happen in this league. We're playing against the best players in the world, like I said. So you don't have times wouldn't it be cool to finish with 32, 33, something like that? I just put my head down and just try to get after it every play. Guys are going to make tough shots, good players are going to score the basketball. So it's their job to do what they can on the offensive end, and my job to do what I can on the defensive.
When did you develop that mentality to be more of a process-driven guy?
I'm really digging this, guys. I'm genuinely digging this.
It's just been something my family has said, and I feel like I've landed in the perfect place in San Antonio, because that was one of the first things they said to me during my interview. It was they asked me a question. They were like, "Are you more process-driven or result-driven?" And I was like,
Are you more professionally driven or skill-driven? Hold on.
It was they asked me a question. They were like, "Are you more process-driven or result-driven?" And I was like, I've always been process-driven. I've never been the best.
What driven? Chat, what is he saying? Have you ever been what?
Place in San Antonio, because that was one of the first things they said to me during my interview. It was they asked me a question. They were like, "Are you more process-driven or result-driven?" And I was like, I've always been process-driven. I've never been the best player in the country.
I don't know.
Been the best at absolutely anything in my game. So I think for me, just being able to compete, not focus on the result and focus on the process, you're going to look back and enjoy your career much more than you would have if you're damn, I only made 2 shots. I think I shot over 7 today.
Positive drip? No, he didn't say that.
Who cares?
It's okay. We understand the sentiment.
I got another one on Tuesday. I get to go and compete, so I'm just grateful to compete. This shot's gonna fall. This shot's not gonna fire. At the end of the day, I've been doing the same. I've been shooting basketball the same.
Process driven? He always been ball driven?
Exact way since I've been 4 or 5 years old. It's gonna fall. I believe that I'm gonna be one of the best shooters in this league. Over 7 performance. I need that shot. I don't for 6 at the last game. That's not going to define what I am as a basketball player. So being able to have other D's to fall back on, to be able to affect the game positively outside making shots or scoring the basketball, it's just my main focus.
Okay, I should yell at you. I should yell at all of chat, okay? This right here, what you just heard, this right here is the difference between, I don't know how I just clicked out of that. This is the difference between a few years ago with players on the team and now, right? Everybody and their mama wanted to hang on to every player that we had that just weren't that great. These players that aren't lottery picks. I love Derek White, right? He was my favorite player since Manu Ginobili. If he plays for the San Antonio Spurs again in the future, so be it. But when he got traded, I was upset, obviously. I did my whole Dear Derek song. But I told you guys, I get it. I understand. I'm content with it. By the way, that was really cool because Derek White actually responded to it, and his dad likes it because he posts that video every year. It's really nice. But I was okay with it. I understood. You need to go, right? And I've been like that with that entire team. They're just not good enough, right? And one thing about it as well, and this is a difference, is this guy right here is confident. Okay, since Sohan, we've gotten nonstop confident players. None of these players feel as if they don't belong where they are, right? You're not going to have to bring that out of them. And this is the difference between guys that go late in the first round, in the second round, or undrafted, and guys that are lottery picks, right? So this is a lot of confidence. Now, one thing that he said that I really like is at the beginning, he basically said, you got to go out there and you got to play hard regardless of who you're playing, even if it's a bad team. Now, I might be looking too hard into this, okay? Maybe too much into this. But the reason why I like that wording where him saying we have to play hard against a bad team, in a way, he's very confident. Maybe he's kind of insinuating that he's not going to be on a bad team. Maybe I'm looking too into it, but I really like that. Now, the reason why I like that is because even though he wasn't here with Chris Paul, that's kind of something that Chris Paul was pushing towards the players, right? He said this, Wembanyama repeated it. I think another player might have repeated it. But what he basically said was, when you go into these games, you need to expect to win. You're supposed to be here. You're supposed to win, right? Like, in other words, that is base. Base level is you're supposed to win. How you do it, that's the process. That's some other things that you need to put into it. But when you go into this arena, you're supposed to win. Don't come in like, oh, we're the underdogs. Oh, we're the young team. Oh, we're this. He's like, no, you go in, you're supposed to win, right? And that's the expectation that the San Antonio Spurs, when we had our big three, every single game I watched, I expected us to win. No matter, even when we had injuries and we were going against some of the best teams in the world, I still expected the Spurs to win, right? Because that was the prerequisite for being a San Antonio Spur. And this right here, even though he hasn't learned from Chris Paul, he hasn't been around the San Antonio Spurs, he won't even have Popovich, he has that same mentality where it's like, I got to play hard, even if the team I'm playing is trash. So that's not you, right? You're not trash. You're a good team. I just supposed to win. I'm supposed to beat them regardless. I like that. I like that separation. I like that separation between him and a bad young team. He's like, no. We are not the same, okay? Not like us. Not like us. I like that. I like that. I think that it speaks to the confidence that he has. I think it speaks to the swagger that the Spurs are going to be getting. And I think didn't Dylan Harper come out, y'all, and say he expect the playoffs or something like that? He was like, yeah, we'll make the playoffs. I think he said that. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, shout out to AI. Dylan Harper, the second overall pick for San Antonio Spurs, is confident the team will return to the playoffs after a 6-year drought, stating that's going to change real quick. He expressed this belief as introductory press conference, emphasizing the excitement surrounding the team's young core and the sky's the limit potential. Harper also highlighted the Spurs' unique family atmosphere and dedication to the team. Yeah, so he like literally came out and was like, "Oh yeah, we're going to make the playoffs." Like that's like. Yeah, so we're getting a lot of winners, people that have high expectations. Wemby has high expectations. De'Aaron Fox has high expectations. Dylan Harper has high expectations. Steph Castle is far ahead than where he probably should be, right? He has high expectations. And obviously Carter Bryant is as confident as it gets. You know, obviously Sohan, he's a winner. He has, you know, some confidence. There's some high expectations. Not on the fans, but I mean, yeah, we have some expectations, but not necessarily on the fan side, but much better. We have high expectations for themselves. You know? So, yeah. High expectations if they have high skill too. That's the thing. They're so talented as well. Like that's why my expectations are much higher. Like this past season, I told you guys time and time again that I didn't expect the playoffs. Like at one point I was thinking play in, but for the most part I was like, guys, I don't think this is a playoff team. Like I don't think we make the playoffs. Now, after the All-Star break, I thought we got a shot after getting De'Aaron Fox and, you know, Wembanyama coming off of All-Star break. But when he got diagnosed with his style, I was like, yeah, it's a wrap. Right. But now this season, there is no excuse. You had another lottery selection. You made some really great changes this offseason. You basically did every single thing that we needed them to do. You added a shooter in oh God, what's his name, guys? Lively. Lindy Walters the second. Lindy Walters. Okay, you added a shooter, which he probably won't get a lot of playing time. Let's be honest, but you did add a little bit of depth as far as shooting. You added Kelly Olynyk. You needed a backup power forward to Sohan. You grabbed that, and you grabbed another big man in Cornette, Lindy Walters. There we go. And you grabbed another big man to Wembanyama when he said, and a defensive big man at that. And then you added 2 really good players, some more defense. I mean, this should be a playoff team. It's just a matter of can our boy Mitch Johnson get it together. So yeah. By the way, somebody kind of got on my nerves. I saw someone in the chat. Oh, was it a chat or a comment? I don't know. And they were like, "You need to pronounce Mitch Johnson's name correctly. You keep saying Mitch Johnson." And he's like, I'm like, you know what? Shut your mouth. I'll pronounce it how I want to pronounce it. Shut up. But yeah, David Jones Garcia too. He's our Jonathan Simmons 2.0. Okay, you guys want a hot take? Here's my hot take, okay? Jonathan Simmons was not that good. That's my hot take. I hate to break it to you. Jonathan Simmons wasn't that good. He was an exciting player that played with some energy, but he wasn't that good. He couldn't shoot. Didn't have great basketball IQ. Defense was okay. But yeah, he was fun to watch. That's all it is. He was fun to watch, and he got maybe the best Spurs dunk. It's kind of weird. It's like he has the best dunk, one of the most impressive. I'll say he has probably the most impressive dunk in Spurs history. It's not the best. It can't be the best, right? You guys know which one I'm talking about, right? How dare you? It's just the truth. You know, there was people saying I would trade Sohan for Jonathan Simmons. I'm like, you're crazy. You're crazy. But that dunk he had against the Trailblazers, you guys remember what I'm talking about? Where he cocked it back? That was freaky. I was like, what the heck? We lost that game, by the way. But I was like, oh my God, that was crazy. I remember when I saw that live. So it was probably the most impressive, but it's obviously not the best. I think the best dunk ever. Yeah, exactly. Manu dunk is, yeah. Manu's dunk on Bosch, because contextually, that moment, what led up to it, because they were really trying to bully Manu. Shane Battier was beating up Manu or whatever. Manu was like, all right, bet. They released a demon. Yeah, that was awesome. That's probably the best dunk in Spurs history. Even the McGee dunk. Oh yeah, that was nasty. He was super athletic. Yeah, he was just fun. I think that it's a vibe, bro. Everything's a vibe. The reason why Spurs fans love Jonathan Simmons so much is because we were winning. So you associate that with good feelings, right? You feel good about that time period. And then you remember a lot of dunks. That's it. I swear to God, people will swear up and down that we wouldn't have won a championship without Corey Joseph. And Corey Joseph was important, right? I think he was a really good bench guy. I think he was a good teammate. Obviously, his dunk going at Ibaka was a good example of, hey, stop playing so scared around him. Those things were important, but man, Spurs fans will just swear up and down we had some of the greatest players ever. I still argue with people about Tiago Splitter. Tiago Splitter was good, but he was pretty good, but man, Spurs fans act like he was one of the best centers, power forwards we ever had in our life. And it's no. If Tiago Splitter was on this team, you would hate him. Just the truth. It's just that time period. He was important for what we needed, and he got the job done. But yeah, every cog was important. We were a machine. That's what it is. Every cog was important. But you separate them from that time and you put them on this team Come on. Jonathan Simmons and this team, look, come on. He's not making a difference. Screw Jay Simmons. We need another Diao. I do love Diao. No, for sure, the Manu dunk on Bosch is the best dunk in Spurs history. Easily. That moment was just too big. It's really sad, man, that like, I guess it's just a reality situation. Like, so we have some memories because really early, oh gosh, I'm about to sound like Unk. Really young Spurs fans just not gonna understand like how impactful certain things were, and even if you go back and you watch some of the clips, it's just not the same, right? That's why so many people will watch like like Michael Jordan highlights, and they're just like, anyone could do that today, right? Without the context of what was going on during that game, or just how he was just destroying a team at the time. And it's going to be the same thing with us, right? Like, we have these memories, and you're going to see like some cool Manu Ginobili plays. But they're not going to understand like how big it was. I guess luckily for Manu, he was like so flashy till like anybody could probably watch some old highlights and be like, whoa, he was incredible. But like, especially someone like Tim Duncan, nah, he won't. Basketball heads, he'll get the credit. Spurs fans, he'll get the credit. But like young fans just in general, nah, they're not gonna get it. They're not gonna get it. Luckily for Tim Duncan, though, his numbers are really on his side. Manu Ginobili numbers aren't on his side. You see Wemby do a reverse windmill during warm-ups. Wemby does some crazy stuff during warm-ups.